Welcome back to Nuclear News. Let's dive into what is going on in this space. First up, price action. We are up on the Sprott Uranium Miners ETF, 5.79% on the week. The S&P 500 was only up 0.95%. And what's happening is the market is waking up to the bullish fundamentals of uranium miners. For instance, Cameco sees first quarter profit jump on rising uranium demand. The company's revenue grew 73% year over year from $398 million to $687 million. This is what we've been talking about. The price of uranium is high. Producers are making lots and lots of money on it, and the market still doesn't realize what's really going on in this space. This is from the Cameco deck for quarter one 2023. So supply outlook is uncertain. We have the primary supply in blue, the secondary supply in gray. Then we have the demand base case, which shows a structural deficit in supply and demand, way less supply, not enough to meet demand, and then demand high case, which is most realistic because every day demand inches up because there's lots of factors not baked into these demand models that the market isn't aware of, like all the different U-turns by countries adopting uranium, all the different life extensions. And so the bottom line is there is a structural supply deficit, and we are in one as of 2023. And because of this, Cameco is making money hands over fist because the spot price of uranium is up, right? And so anyone who's exposed to the scarce resource is going to do well, specifically because the supply of uranium is getting scarcer and scarcer and scarcer. You would think that fundamentals like this would cause supply to increase because people want to make money. Well, this is what's happening. It's really scarce above ground. We need 5 million pounds to 7 million pounds purchasing this year to fulfill contracts. We will be buying in the market. So they're buying it cheap out of the spot market to fulfill the contracts. They're taking even more supply out of the market. That's one company taking supply out of the market. Yellow Cake describes strong first quarter as uranium prices rise. During the first quarter, it completed an oversubscribed placing of 15 million shares on February 7, raising $74 million. Yellow Cake said it used the funds to purchase 1.35 million pounds of triuranium octoxide from JSC National Atomic Company, Kazatomprom, under its 2022 uranium purchase option for a total of $66 million. So Yellow Cake taking supply out of circulation. And the biggest driver intensifying the scarcity of this resource is China, a pending $1.8 billion, 36 million plus pound Kazatomprom uranium supply deal to China is no surprise, given the 60 million pound storage and trading hub being built along China's border with Kazakhstan to be filled by Kazatomprom. So you have lots of immediate drivers taking supply out of circulation, making this resource scarce. But we know there's massive demand growing around the world for nuclear power and its fuel uranium. China nuclear chairman sees 7-fold surge in capacity by 2060. Growth needed to help nation meet its decarbonization goals. Nuclear generation seen rising to almost 1/5 of total energy generation. 3 agreements signed towards global reactor deployment between the US, South Korea. International partnerships critical, says TerraPower president. Bill Gates is one of the main investors in TerraPower. Trudeau says Canada is very serious about reviving nuclear power. Trudeau says company is prioritizing reducing dependency on oil and gas in the coming decades. What a setup as the supply gets scarcer and demand balloons exponentially. Polish small reactors project may get up to $4 billion in U.S. financing. That is a lot of money going into this space, accelerating the demand for this resource. Now, this is one of the biggest developments that people are sleeping on. Greenpeace was a thorn in the flesh of this Finnish reactor for a long time. Now the organization wishes the nuclear power plant all the best. Greenpeace's country director giving up the use of fossil fuels is a key issue. The organization has no plans for new campaigns against nuclear power. One of the reasons nuclear power struggled for so long was because Greenpeace was against it. Well, they're not anymore. And so we're continuing to see massive amounts of capital pour into this space. Dutch government allocates funding for nuclear program. In its draft climate fund for 2024, the Dutch government has budgeted funds totaling 320 million euros for the development of nuclear energy. The funds will be used for the preparation of the operational extension of this existing nuclear power plant, the construction of 2 new large reactors, the development of SMRs, and for nuclear skills development in the Netherlands. That's just one example. Hundreds of millions of euros pouring into this space. American support for nuclear energy hits highest in a decade. Core Power reaches funding milestone of $100 million. The UK-based Core Power has reached its $100 million funding milestone to develop new nuclear technology for the maritime industry. It's a game changer to have small modular reactors powering maritime vessels. Absolutely massive. A sedan-sized microreactor could change billions of lives on Earth. And one last example of money streaming into this revolutionary new technology. This former SpaceX engineer just raised $40 million to build portable nuclear reactor, backed by Andreessen Horowitz, right? They were the early stage investors in Facebook, and Founders Fund. Radiant Industries says its megawatt nuclear power generators are cleaner and safer compared to the diesel alternatives that dominate the market for remote and backup power generation. So we're just getting started. We have a supply crunch on our hands. We have ballooning demand, and we're in the early stages of the mass adoption of technology with cash just streaming into this space. This discussion is for informational purposes only. Please consult a certified financial planner when making any decisions about investing. And do your own research before making any decisions. Investments are risky, and you can lose lots of money in them.